The Princess Switch we reviewed. It's a holiday movie on Netflix. It says it's on Netflix. You could have swore it was on Hallmark first. Or
I'm not gonna lie, I'm sort of baffled that Princess Switch is a Netflix original.
Yeah.
I really thought it's what's the word? It's a spiritual companion to many a Hallmark and or what's that, Lifetime?
Yeah, let's try all of them. It's a spiritual companion to every single fucking movie ever made also Oxygen.
Nah, I definitely felt more of the Lifetime movie vibe.
Lifetime,
anyway.
a little bit, well, a lot of Hallmark, or Hallmark movies and mysteries, if you get that channel.
But in its own way, it's also a Netflix movie, and I'll explain that in a little bit.
Yeah. But what's this movie about? It's about a Chicago baker, played by Vanessa Hudgens, who is competing in a Christmas baking competition in Belgravia. No, that's not a country, idiot. There she bumps into the prince's fiancé. They look exactly alike, and they plan to switch for 2 days because life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. That's the plot synopsis. Well, is that the tagline for this movie?
I don't know, but it's a brilliant film.
Oh, man.
It really subverts expectations.
Oh, man.
I could not have plotted it out even if I tried. All right, so that's...
which of those statements is is two truths and one's a lie?
Okay, so let me just... Okay, I'll put it in their words. I was kidding, as you know, because I like to be sarcastic and lie about stuff, because clearly those things aren't true. Get what I'm doing? I'm using heavy use of exposition.
Come on, Robert. You know me. I'm sarcastic. We've known each other for 5 years and 3 months and 2 days.
Come on, Robert. Remember when we met at film school? You know me. I like to joke about things, especially about Netflix movies that feel like they're either Lifetime or Hallmark Channel movies.
So a little bit of background. But dear God, every holiday, my mom puts on Hallmark Channel. And by holiday, I mean November 1st to like January, whenever the fuck the Epiphany is, the 7th. That's how long...
It starts early.
That's how long Hallmark's holiday thing is. And they play movies like... There's probably 18 movies exactly like this. There's one with Candace Cameron. Yeah. There's a couple others. They're the same fucking movie every year.
Right. And they all use, as I was just making fun of...
The tropes.
No, not even just the tropes. Extremely expository dialogue. Like really clunky... Like bad, like hit you in the face, like, Margaret, I'm going to say things that are super obvious to you, but, just in case someone's, like, following us around with cameras.
Yeah.
It's
man.
It's like, I want one of them to just one time be like, it's almost like you're saying this as if a camera's looking at us. Why would you say such weird, obvious things?
For the audience.
Yeah. All right, so we start off, she's a baker, right? Mm-hmm. And she's too busy to have fun or whatever the hell, or like do the competition. But then she runs into a rival who they don't really show her being enough of a jerk for you to truly hate enough. So that was strike one.
And she runs into her ex-boyfriend who's got a new girlfriend, and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" Or the girlfriend's like, "What are you guys doing for the holiday?" And she's like, I'm going to the baking competition. I'm like, we got ourselves a movie.
Whoa, yeah, because you're like, she wouldn't do that. She doesn't want to go to the baking competition.
Whoa.
And all of a sudden, your expectations are blown out of the water because she decides she's going to go to that baking contest. That's right.
You could say Vanessa Hudgens is breaking free, soaring, flying, if you will, a la High School Musical, because she gets in a plane.
Yeah. I just want to also point out, she has a hat that just says Chicago.
Who the fucking Chicago wears a hat with the city name on it? Like, come on, man. At least just get a Cubs hat. Like no one says that. Like, guess where this was filmed?
I think they're like... They showed the movie to each team and got a resounding no.
We got to reshoot this scene.
They're like, hold on. The like execs who are like meeting with like Rocky Wirtz. He's like, He's like, here, can I take your picture? He's like, yeah, bye. He's like, never let them in this building again. But anyway, it's like, what kills me about that is like, they probably had to like wardrobe test that, you know, like go in for like costume fittings or like whatever. And it's like the person in charge of this movie is like, yeah, that looks about
That's what
right.
people wear around here, right?
Yeah, right.
They just wear hats with the city's name on it.
Yeah, if you're like visiting from like, I don't know where.
Like if you're a tourist,
Yeah.
or if you're like in like fucking Nashville or like Atlanta and you're from Chicago, like you wear something that's like from Chicago, but even that shit doesn't say the word Chicago on it. It's either like a Cubs logo or a Bears logo or fucking
No, yeah. So there's that.
The magical old man who tells her what to do and guides her on her way. Magical Christmas man, old man.
He's in Belgravia, though.
He's in Belgravia, too, with the British accent.
So we arrive to Belgravia, and I guess this place is like everyone's British or whatever, but not really.
You know what's weird is like they very randomly are just like, everything's like a fairy tale there. And I'm like, what? And then they like show up at the house and they're like, look, it's the girl's house from the Nutcracker. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, is that supposed to look like something? Like, I don't think there was this, like, it's not like the Amityville horror house where it's like, that's the fucking Amityville horror house.
That's the Freddy Krueger house with the red door. No.
That's the Home Alone house. It's not like, it's like
that's the Kane from Citizen Kane.
Yeah, it's like.
In The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's like
there was no Kane in that movie.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, sure, I guess that's the Nutcracker house. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead in.
No, I get what you're saying. I guess that's
a gripe. That's a quibble.
I just want to say, though, it's like, I feel like overall, my problem with this movie is, and this is so Netflix of them, it didn't go dumb enough. That's my problem, is like, there's a lot, don't get me wrong, there's a lot dumb with this movie that was enjoyably stupid. But sometimes I'm like, come on, a little more.
You know what's weird?
Like, they needed more magical, weird people. Because, like, Belgravia, it's like, this one guy's magic. And you're like, oh, so this is like some rip-off North Pole. And it's like, not really. It's just like a bunch of weird aristocrats who live in this, like, weird, like, wannabe, like, Swiss-looking town, I guess.
Also, did you notice the Wembley Studios? Did you notice what the fuck that was? It was like Wembley Studios. I'm like, I wrote down LOL. You mean Rush University Hospital, you fucking plebeians?
Yeah.
It's fucking Rush University Hospital with the words Wembley Studios, like so fucking like horrifically like rotoscoped on. I'm like, dear God.
Yeah.
So you made the note that this movie doesn't go hard enough, and I completely agree. And I compared this movie to a bad drug. So you know why that is?
How so?
The first 20 minutes were like pure ecstasy. Yeah. And it's like the weirdest drug experience in the world, because like all of a sudden you become like tolerant immediately to it, like after the first 20 minutes.
Stupidity, like especially what is it like so what are you doing? I'm going to the contest. You're like, yes, it's one of these movies.
Yes, but I feel like as soon as we get to Belgravia, the movie like, so I'll say this: I gave Abby the title. Just the title of the fucking movie, and she got the plot of this movie to like 85 percentile.
Yeah, that's like you know that movie The Proposal.
Exactly.
Except that looked like just bad, like not funny bad, like that just looked like shit.
Right.
It's like I literally figured it out from the poster. It's like, let me guess, Sandra Bullock is his boss, and they have to get married, and they hate each other.
She's all tough, and
she's all harumphy, and he's
all Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm funny and charming and Canadian. And
I haven't seen The Proposal, but audience members out there,
and then
do they get together?
Sandra Bullock's like, yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm all harumphy, but really I'm like,
come here, Ryan Reynolds.
I'm like pretty and nice and normal when you get to know me. And then,
oops, we bumped into each other and we're both naked. Foreshadowing.
Whoa, yeah.
Betty White's here.
Yeah,
it's just like Jesus. But I wanted it to go harder in the paint, if you will.
Oh, with this?
Yes.
See, that's kind of what I was hoping for. Also, I just want to point out, so they get there. We meet the princess, right? And she's got, well, it's Vanessa Hudgens. Oh my God, I couldn't tell. She's just so good at acting. Let's talk about weirdest career trajectory ever. Okay. Here's one of the things off the top of my head that I can name with her in it. High School Musical is like an obvious choice,
for
right?
Sure.
Sucker Punch. So one of Zack Snyder's like to say it'd be divisive is
it's like, well, it's not saying much. That's most of his movies.
What else is new? And then Spring Breakers.
Yes.
And now this. And weirdly enough, I feel like this is somehow a step up from at least Spring Breakers and Sucker Punch.
Maybe a little bit. It's definitely this one's definitely a 4-quadrant movie.
Yeah, it's your standard 4-quadrant movie.
Right.
But back to her being from Chicago. Lack of a Chicago accent.
Yes.
What is this bullshit? She's like, oh, yes, I have to get back to Chicago.
Chicago.
It's like, it's Chicago, you ass munch.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they also missed a golden opportunity for her to use her Chicago accent. And it would have been perfect.
Belgravia.
Yeah, no, because, she decides to switch places. Prince and the Pauper, classic, obvious ripoff. So she switches with the Princess of Belgravia. There's a point where she's like getting on the horse because she's with the prince guy, and it's like, oh, do you need help getting on the horse? She's like, oh no, I'm quite fine. And then like gets on, and then she vaults over it and like lands on her back. And I'm like, this would have been a perfect time for her to be like, my ass. Like, oh. Yeah, like, god damn it, my back. Fell right on my fell right on my ass. God damn it.
My coccyx broke. My bowl of sausage broke in my pocket.
Holy crap, that hurt.
Oh, Wakanda, that hurt.
Exactly. They missed a golden opportunity. Like, what was that? And she'd be like, oh no, oh goodness, my bum hurts.
Here's another thing. What the fuck is the reason why this switch happens?
It's like,
I know why it is, but I want to see if you remember.
It was like, oh, I want to know what it's like to be one of you lowly peons.
What the fuck? Like, I was listening to that, and I'm like, it was like, I felt like I was in a pitch meeting. It's like, well, I just want to get to know the people more. And I'm like, that's a shitty reason. Next reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason?
But
never mind, fuck you, movie.
Isn't that how it goes in the original Prince and the Pauper? He's like, I want to be one of the Philistines.
I don't know.
He's just like, I want to see what it's like to be one of the lowlies. It's lonely at the top, okay?
Yeah.
Remember, there's just all these perfectly set up plot holes, like she doesn't like her pictures being taken. Mm-hmm. So
they can't be in the same place at once at the toy store.
Apparently, like, even though she's a royal, like,
no one knows what the fuck she looks like.
Right, because what's her name? Like, the cabbie almost hits her.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like...
Oh, I almost just hit your soon-to-be wife, sir. Sorry.
No, he almost hits Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
Or what the hell? Do these characters have names?
Stacy DeNovo. And the other one's name is, what is it? Margaret Delacourt.
Okay, so I'm going to take a guess and say Stacy DeNovo from Chicago.
Yeah, DeNovo, Polish sausage.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so Stacy almost gets hit by a car, and like they're walking through town, and not a single person in this town knows what the hell Margaret looks like.
Mm-hmm. I guess not.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she doesn't like having her pictures taken. I'm like, that's so convenient.
Isn't that a convenient thing to have happen for this movie?
It's like having an action movie where it's like you really badly want a fist fight, and as we are fond of pugilism, and we say that word often. We've probably said it about 20 times this episode. Anyway, so you really want a pugilism match, and it's like they're fighting, and it's like, oh no, a gigantic magnet came and took all our guns. It's the amount of like contrivance, like it's the amount of contrivances.
Yeah.
That they use in order to make the plot work. And see, that's the classic like hallmark. Like, all right, this is fun, but it's the lack of the my ass. that's like the stuff. I was like, come on, she's from Chicago. Play that up a little.
See, that's why I tapped out, and I wrote. I'm like, as I was watching, I'm like, this is an appalling example of why cliches and tropes sometimes just don't work, especially when they're either used too often or relied upon exclusively without any self-awareness. So, like, you ever seen that Lifetime movie with Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig?
Will Ferrell was in a Lifetime movie?
And Kristen Wiig, where they have they adopt a daughter that's like a murderer. It's like totally tongue-in-cheek, but it's hilarious because it's stupid. But like that, but like not as overt. would have been great. Like if they went into this movie saying like this is gonna suck. Let's just have fun with it. Say whatever, improv every line. Fuck it. I would have been like, okay, at least I'm having fun. But like, god damn it, the middle act and the last act, I was like, you know what happened?
What's that?
I started doodling.
Are you serious?
I was drawing.
You hated it that much.
I was drawing. I haven't drawn in 4 years.
Wow.
I was like, I'm just gonna draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how Robert rages. when you've really chapped his ass, he starts to doodle.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw. And I didn't even know I was doing it. And I'm like, oh fuck, I have to like kind of rewind it. And then I like rewound it like 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I think I know what happens. I'm gonna go back. But yeah,
all right,
dear
yeah.
God.
And then we got the classic. Oh well, fuck it. I guess we've been spoiling it.
They fall in love with each other's people that they're not in love with. Like,
oh yeah, because it's like Stacy's pretending to be Margaret, but she likes the prince,
and then Margaret likes Stacy's friend, and you know they're all like, Stacy's like, how could you fall in love with my best friend? He's such a stick in the mud. And like Margaret's like, how could you fall in love with the prince? He's such a wet blanket. Well, that's just, what the fuck is this shitty the thing for this movie? You make plans and life happens. It's like,
hey man, she made plans to go to this this cooking
fictitious country,
which matters almost nil to the plot until the very third act.
The evil villain like comes and like commits a crime, like breaks and enters into the fucking soundstage, and like snips her fucking hand mixer or some bullshit.
I love how like it's like that'll show her. It's like in real life, wouldn't she just show up and be like, oh fuck, I gotta get a new one. Hey, this Belgravia place has like hand mixers, right? Yeah.
We're actually the world's top exporter in hand mixers.
Yeah, it's like, gee, I don't know. No, this baking competition doesn't have any extras. Oh, gee, that's a shame. No, it's like, yeah, here, just give me like $30 and I'll get a new one. Okay, great. Wow, what a moron. Whoever thought of that, I sure hope they feel stupid because I'm totally going to win this contest still. But anyway, also favorite trope, the little kid figures it out, the wisdom of the youngins.
Oh, man. The kids know best.
It's like, God, there was that. Also related to the, like, they fall for each other's, like, dudes or whatever. Mm-hmm. I love how both the guys at the end are like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm okay with this. Like the one guy's like,
in fact, I want to marry you.
Yeah. And then like talk about, okay, this is the magnet taking away the guns thing. Mm. We'll get married a year from now, you know, because we need a little more time before we fall in love. What I love about that like little thing where it's like we need to wait a year to like get to know each other better. It's like, all right, so you thought that this was too contrived. So you're like, okay, let's dig ourselves out of this hole. And it's like, well, you've only gone deeper.
And like her parent or the prince's parents, like what the fuck happened to that conflict? I feel like it just got resolved way too quick. Like the king is like, well, she's a commoner. I don't want her getting married. And the queen's like, fuck you. And he's like, all right. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I mean. Everything was just like tied together in a neat little bow.
What did I expect? What the hell why?
Well, I kind of figured they'd go harder in the paint, man.
Yeah, and the first 20 minutes, they for sure did.
They did, and I'm
super goofy.
And it's like, you know, because they start to fall for chairs, like, I can't, and it's like, oh no. And it's like, isn't the dude, see, like, they're technically in love with the other one, mm-hmm. right? Because they're like switched, but it's like.
No, I was in love with the British voice.
Yeah, what if they
I was in love with the Chicago accent.
They should have kept it that way. It's like it should have been like, hey, like imagine they're dating. And it's like, hey, can you talk like you're British?
Can you talk like your distant cousin?
No, he's like, oh no, he's like, no, it's the prince. He's like, can you talk like you're British?
Yeah,
like I am.
Oh my god.
And it's like, why? It's like, no reason. And it's just like. So I just don't love you if you don't.
It would crack me up if it ended like, wait a second. So you lied to me the whole time?
That's what I love is like,
yeah, but I did it for love.
Okay, for generally like, yeah, I did it for love.
No, get away from me.
Yeah. She like comes in. It's like I said, get away. Like shoves her over a table.
Secret Service comes in.
It's like, all right, break it up, you two.
Jesus.
Also, the evil girl is just like cool with everything. Shouldn't she be pissed she lost?
Also, the evil girl and like the evil like the what the fuck is the guy's name? The evil like servant guy.
Your what do you call him? Your dollar store Tim Curry.
Yeah, dollar store Tim Curry. Like all of a sudden he's just like he's like pumping his fist at the end when they're like all making out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like didn't you like almost break your spine trying to take a photo of like the other chick or some shit?
Also important to note. Okay, so you know how like usually in rom-coms, which admittedly is probably my least favorite subgenre. Mm-hmm. But, everyone's seen at least, 3 or 4 of them at most. Or has been, unfortunately, as you have many times, been forced to watch plenty more.
Yes.
But you know how generally, like, the plot point, too, is, like, somebody fucks up.
There's a misunderstanding.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, like, they have to, like, do something to be like, oh, no, see, like... I know I fucked up.
I gotta prove myself to you in an airport.
Yeah, or like something. Yeah, it's like, go big or go home, guys. It's like, they just completely, they skip that step. Because the big fuck up is, oh yeah, I lied to you, I switched places. And it's like...
Never mind. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, oh good, because I started to think that was it.
Yeah, Jesus.
What else could it be? It's like, what?
Now I want to marry you.
Yeah, it's like, are you fucking...
That's some gumption you've got. I want to marry a girl like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, normally they're supposed to be like, oh, fuck you. And that's like, oh, man. And
10 minutes of mopey-ass shit.
Here's how I'd rewrite that. And keeping in with Lifetime thing. Oh, great. Like, what's her name's like, I need a vacation. And she's like, I'm going back home. They just happen to be on the same flight, obviously, and they're sitting right across from each other. It's like, thanks for ruining my life. And then she's like, what are you talking about? You ruined my life. I don't know why she sounds like Stewie doing a lady's voice. But anyway, then they get to like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, I most definitely am. And then they high-five each other. And then they're like, stop this plane. And they're like, we're already in the air. And then they're like, fuck, okay. And then they like, I don't know. They get off the plane, take a Greyhound bus back to the airport, and they're like, are you still thinking what I'm thinking? Get on that. Okay, so then they take the flight back to Belgravia. Then they do something to like, undo their shitty deed.
Right.
Like, they get on, I don't know, they're like on a gondola on stilts or some shit. Like, juggling.
In the sky.
Juggling fire during some fake Belgravia Christmas festival that's like, I don't know, slightly carnival infused.
Right.
It's like, Prince Charming guy and other dude from Chicago. We've got megaphones and we just, yeah, we know we messed up. You know, that thing, like, they have to do something or they prove that they, like, really love them or whatever.
Right.
It's like, you guys couldn't even get that? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, go hard or go home.
I feel like this would have been a much better watch had I watched it with a group.
You watched this with just Abby?
I watched this alone.
Well, see, I watched this with my family because we were all together, as it was Thanksgiving-ish time. Mm-hmm. And, we were scrolling through movies, and they're like, everyone was really feeling high on Jumanji. I'm like, I'm not watching that. And they're like, what, you rather watch this? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I will. I would rather watch this. And that's how badly I don't want to see Jumanji. All right, Robert, any other hot takes you want to leave us with? Any parting words?
This movie completely killed the we look alike and we should switch lives for a day or whatever the fuck subgenre of movies.
Hey, remember how there's one starring a 12-year-old and she did a better British accent?
Yeah, weird.
Right?
Seriously, oh man. This just murdered this entire genre. Like, fuck. God damn. I mean, not that...
Isn't there another one, and it's also a Christmas Netflix movie? I swear to God there
Christmas
is.
Prince, I think is what it's
Something
called.
Like that.
I think it's from the same director or writer or team or whatever.
You don't say.
Yeah, it's...
So, okay. I guess, let's see. There's Belgravia, the toy store, just a lot of dumb... that was your classic shitty 1930s screwball comedy scene.
We're playing Twister. Oops.
Yeah.
I fell on you.
Not even that. It's just like, you can't go over there. Like, it's like, for those of you who haven't seen, you know, I don't imagine you will. It's one of those, like, two people who are in the same room aren't supposed to be there at the same time, so the other people have to hide it from someone, and it's just like, ugh, please stop. All right, so I think I'm out of shit to say. Let's move on to scores. So I'm doing the out of bomb score.
Yes.
And for the first time ever, I can't give it a 1 or 2 out of 2 bombs. I'm giving it a 1.5 out of 2 bombs. Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't bored, but I wanted it to go, you know, a little more overboard in the dumb category.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I was supremely bored because I watched this alone. Had I watched it with a group, it would have been much funnier. I'm not going to rate it out of bombs because this movie is P. 2 out of 10.
Oh, you're just going straight. not out of bounds. This is the first. Man, you really hated this.
Oh man, I did not enjoy myself. 100 minutes? Really? You're gonna keep me in this romantic ass, tired ass movie for 100 minutes? Fuck.
Well, it was a little long. So that'll do it for Princess Switch. Was that what it's? Yeah, Princess Switch.
My ass.
My ass. What was that? Oh, I mean, ooh, ouch, my bum.
My ass.
My ass. So, audience, what do you think of this film? Apparently, the Peanuts Gallery agrees with Robert.